What's going on, everybody? Gonna do some video game hunting. We're gonna start right here at GameStop, and this is a retro GameStop. We're gonna see if they got anything good in. I go every Thursday, and today's Thursday, so let's go ahead and go check it out and see if they have anything new. Now, mainly right now, I'm trying to do an N64 and GameCube collection, so that's what I'm after. I got a few GameCube games here a couple weeks ago, but haven't seen too many since then. Alright, so here is their retro section. I got some Wii U stuff here. I've actually completed my Wii U section. Let's see what we got here. All-Star Baseball. I'm eventually gonna have to buy these. Big Game Hunter. I know I don't have that. Desert Storm 2. Incomplete. If this was complete, I'd probably buy it, even though I don't want it. Crazy Taxi. I gotta check and see my price chart if I have that. If not, I might be grabbing that one right there. Lots of sports games. What's this? Naruto. I don't think I have that one. Let's see if that's complete. Open season. These are the games that nobody wants. Outlaw Golf. That's not complete. Pac-Man, but it's a player's choice. Street Hoops. This was water damaged. Top Gun. This is a cool case. Check this out. Look at this. No book, but it's a Blockbuster case. I would have bought this if I had the booklet. Outlaw Golf. Don't know if it's any good, but I don't have it. If it had the manual. All right, picked up 2 games from GameStop. I think I showed you guys one of them. I don't think I showed you guys the other, so maybe I'll wait till the end of the video to show you the other one. It is very icy out, man. Holy crap! Now it's raining. This is not good. This is not gonna be good. At least I'm driving the Mach-E today, so we should be good. You know, I've done a total 180 on GameStop. I've recently been having a lot of good experiences, and I'm going to attribute that to the managers they're hiring. They're hiring, they hired in at least the 2 stores that I have local to me. They hired 2 really good female managers. One is Tina at the store I was just at. She's been terrific, and the other one is Allie at the other stores, and they've both been awesome. They've saved me stuff. They're just good customer service, and you know, they make recommendations, but they are pushy, and I'm enjoying the service over at the GameStop. So I've done a complete 180 on them. It's amazing that hiring the right people actually does make a difference. So that's totally a good thing. I've had a very good experience. I can't believe that I got Crazy Taxi here today. And I don't know if that was there last week or not, but I have it now, so that's pretty cool. And while I was in there, somebody bought a loose copy of Mario Kart Wii for 50 bucks. Incomplete, just the disc. I can't believe that someone paid $50 for Mario Kart Wii. Incomplete. Okay, here we are at Goodwill. It's been hit or miss. We're going to find out today whether it's a hit or miss. Come 4 Thursdays in a row. 2 Thursdays I made out good. 2 Thursdays I made out bad. Let's see what today is. There we are, walking over to the DVDs and games, and got a couple DVDs here. Then we come across Madden 06. Skylanders for the 360, and then we got a second copy here for the 360 as well. Thought about this for a second. Full Spectrum Warrior for the Xbox, never heard of it. And then they had Project Gotham Racing, also for the Xbox. Did end up buying that. Bunch of PlayStation 2 shovelware, more sports game. Four copies of Connect Adventures, not sure who's buying those, and more sports games. Now this part I decided to span across the store. Couldn't find an employee anywhere, nobody at the counter, and then I showed you guys the counter, and then someone showed up all the way in the back from the back. Well, not the best. You saw all the games in there. It was crazy. There's like nobody there. There's only 2 people working that whole entire store. So that's why I did I wanted to show the counters and stuff like that. There's nobody in there, but there's some customers in there. And it's just, there wasn't a lot of games, but it's luck of the draw. The good news is she said that they weren't sending stuff, to video games at least, to Shop Goodwill anymore. So that is at least some positive. So we have now a chance of possibly getting some games. We're gonna head over the Salvation Army next. Oh my God, they have not plowed over here at all. Once in a while we find something in here. Found some PlayStation 1 games in here a few visits ago. Last time I think I found some good DVDs. Just walking through the end of the store here. I looked through the DVDs and Blu-rays, no video games in there, some, you know, books and things like that. But I walked over this case, and this Nintendo Wii has been here forever. I think it'll be my personal meme. I'll check and see if it's here every time I come in. $59.99. They're not going to sell it at that. Well, some days you have luck, and some days you end up with nothing. Today was end up with nothing, but they had that Wii in there. It was ridiculously overpriced. Okay, we're gonna go right up there to Joe Gamer, my local video game store, and we're gonna see if he can help me complete some of my games here. I have one of these old CD folders full of loose games. A lot of them I found out were very expensive if you complete them. So a lot of GameCube games, a few Wii, a couple Dreamcast, lots of PlayStation 2, but a lot of the PlayStation 2 games aren't even worth completing. But we're gonna see if he'll help me out. He's helped me out once before. It's been about a year. See if he's willing to help me out, and I'll buy some empty cases from him if he's got them. So I just went through some of my loose games with Joe. He's gonna go in the back and see what he's got, but he said right away that he didn't think he had any GameCube stuff. Got a lot of loose stuff here, and then I go to my this is my Dreamcast games. Nothing really crazy. I've looked online to see if any of these are around, but to buy them individually, it's just kind of like too expensive with shipping and everything like that. It doesn't make any sense. But there are some that are not worth completing, and there are some like these 360 games I'm not going to bother. They're just worthless games that I don't want to do. And then we got our PlayStation 1 games. He thinks he might have one of these Resident Evil things. That's a 2-disc game. I have disc, what is that, disc 1, I think, twice. And yeah, oh, right there, disc 2 twice and disc 1 once. I don't know how I get these, sometimes I forget, but we got Duke Nukem. That was a game worth completing. I would love to complete that one. It just sucks that you know, you can't complete them all, but every once in a while I'll check with the stores and see if they can help me out. And then you got the games that are definitely not worth completing, like the Hulker or Rocky. All right, my buddy Joe Gamer hooking me up. This is cool. So I actually ended up picking up a game. Maybe I should save this one for later. I'm going to save that for later because I picked up a game that I was looking for. But he helped me complete 3 of my games. Actually, 4 technically. We've got Need for Speed. Okay, now we have the case for that one. No book, unfortunately. We got Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Okay, we got the case. It's got the poster in there, so helped me complete that one. Took care of me there. And this one was a big one. I love this series of games, Resident Evil 2. He helped me complete this one. This one, to me, out of all the games that I'm completing, is the most important because I just have such nostalgia for this game. So it's an awesome game. This is another thing I didn't expect to get. I gotta remember to take these off the list. I was going through, he sells like manuals like separately for NES, Super Nintendo, N64, and Game Boy, and Battletoads. And I just got a copy of Battletoads in the last video. Didn't have the manual in there, so now I got the manual. It was kind of a pricey one, but you got to pay for good stuff. And then I was looking on the ground, and he had a bunch of Genesis cases. He just took in this awesome Sega Master System collection, which unfortunately I couldn't afford anything that I wanted. He got Alf, and I couldn't afford it. But he got a Beavis and Butthead. He got 2 copies of this. He gutted it for me, and no manual, but now I completed my Beavis and Butthead for the Sega Genesis, and now I want to play this. So, I don't know. Not the same on Super Nintendo, everybody's telling me, because I got that Super Nintendo copy. I'm not crazy about it, but now we got it for the Genesis, and now I can put it on my shelf. Thanks, Joe. That was pretty cool. Joe invited me into my dream. Joe let me in the back room. I didn't do any filming back there. It was like being in the back room of a Toys R Us, man. It was crazy. I wish I could have filmed back there or videoed. I didn't even ask him because he's like, I would invite you back in the back, but it's a mess. I was like, Joe, I don't care. And then we talked for like a good hour, and then we talked some more, and then he said it again. I said, Joe, I don't care. He's like, no, there's stuff all over the floor and stuff. And then he's like, he doesn't want to be on camera. But then we talked about it a little bit more, and I was like, dude, I don't care. And then he let me in the back. I was like, yes! I was like, this is awesome. It was so cool. And he was talking about these stacks of discs that he has. And he had stacks and stacks of just loose games. And I was like, dude, how are you ever going to complete these? He's like, I don't know. It's so funny. Like, I thought my CD folder was bad. I couldn't imagine being a game store. But Joe's cool, man. Once you get him going, man, he's a pretty cool guy. He had so much cool stuff in the back, some sealed stuff. I'm like, dude, why don't you put this out? He's like, you need to order another case. I was like, dude, order another case. He's got such cool stuff back there. It's so wild. But he said he's gonna try to get it organized, and then he's gonna let me look through it. And I even offered to help him. I said, dude, we care about you. You know, I'm your friend. I said, dude, I'll help you organize this stuff and get it on the shelves. And, you know, you got to get it out, man. Because if it's just sitting in the back, it's not making any money. He's got so much back there. And it's interesting to see. I mean, there's no school today because of the snow. It was interesting to see after being there for at least an hour how many games or how many customers are going in and out the door. But, yeah, it was cool. So, Joe, if you're watching this, thanks for letting me in the back. And also, we exchanged numbers. I've known him for like 10 years. We exchanged numbers today. So, dude, if you want to hang out, play some games, whatever, let me know. And then I asked him, I said, do you still collect? He goes, you know what? I sold most of my collection or brought it into the store. So when people asked me that, he had a great response. He said, this is my collection. I said, dude, that is awesome. That is one of the coolest things I've ever heard. This is my collection. I said, that's cool, and your collection's always changing. Yeah, some stuff's going out and some stuff's coming in. That's cool. Oh, must be, you think it's fun to open a game store, but I know it's definitely challenging and it's a lot of work. And these people are cleaning off their car with a snow shovel, and that's the worst thing to do. What a bad idea. All right. While I was in there, I got a phone call from GameStop, which we were just there, and they said, hey, we just got a bunch of GameCube stuff in and some Nintendo 64 stuff. If you want to pop in and take a look at it. I said, oh, I'll be right there. So now we're heading back to where we were. We're going back to GameStop. And, yeah, they got my cell phone number, and, yeah, we're building a relationship. And it's funny, I just said how they hired a new manager, and she's been awesome. Unfortunately, I don't get any deals because you can't do that, but it's a corporation. But let's see what they got. Maybe there's some good deals to be found. Well, we're back almost where we started. Got a call from GameStop while I was at the retro game store, Joe Gamer. And they're about 20 minutes apart, and they said they got some games in. They wanted me to take a look at them, so they said some GameCube, I think Nintendo 64. So we're going to see what they got. Second time here today. So we got here Sega Bass Fishing. Some game with a Nissan Xterra on the front. We don't know what that is. I think the thing might be covering it. This one I know I got Sega GT with the Viper on it. You got some Game Boy Advance games here. We got Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Wow, those are some good games. No pricing on these yet. And we got a Kirby game. I think I have that one. And there's another copy of Top Gun. They already have that on the shelf. I'm going to have to check my price chart and see what I don't have. Player's Choice. Mega Man. That feels like that is not complete, though. Star Wars. I hate Lego games. Except for Lego City. That one's awesome. Harry Potter. You guys did get a bunch of these. I know I don't have that one. And Narnia. And last one, nothing good. Call of Duty. Okay, that was awesome. I met both. I saw these two guys in there. I'm like, who are these guys? I've never seen these guys in there before. Both the district manager and the regional manager were in there. And the store manager came back. And yeah, awesome experience. They called me back. They were waiting for a shipment from another store in Middletown. and she had told me that earlier, and they actually just got the shipment. So I showed you guys the games, and I didn't show you guys what I bought though. So I had to show you guys what I bought. Got some pretty decent deals for some games that I'll play and some games that I'll never play. But yeah, it was a good experience. And I told them, I said, you know, this new manager, she's awesome. The other one in the other Poughkeepsie store is fantastic. I said, you guys actually have some good people, and you know, they did a complete 180, and the stores are a lot better than they were. So yeah, pretty cool. So let's go back to the house. We'll go back to the game room, or my living room, one of the two, and I will show you the pickups for the day. All right, well, I am now home, as you guys can see, the game room / living room. So I'm going to show you everything I picked up today, and I actually have a couple other pickups I'm going to show you. I actually went to go pick up something, and I'll save this for last, in Connecticut one night. And when I was in Connecticut, we met at a Target, and I went to Target and got a Switch game, Cobra Kai 2. So it must not be a very good game based on the price. But they had this on clearance for $9, and for $9, I was like, hey, what the heck? I'm just going to grab that. So I grabbed that. In today's pickup, what we'll do is we'll go to today's pickup, and then we'll go back to the other item I have, so this way I could go ahead and put it away, because I don't put it in my collection until I show you guys. So our first stop was GameStop, and it is a retro store in Poughkeepsie, New York. And I was looking through the GameCube games. There's really not too much there, but then I spotted a couple games I didn't have. And one you guys kind of probably already know, that is Crazy Taxi. Loved Crazy Taxi. Crazy Taxi is an awesome game. Love this game. I have it on the PlayStation 2, and really enjoy this game. I'm trying to go for a complete GameCube collection, or get as close as I can, you know. So Crazy Taxi, believe it or not, I didn't have it, so this is getting added to the collection. I normally don't do this, but as I was walking by, I walked by the Xbox section, and I saw Burnout 2, and I love Burnout, especially the original ones. Burnout 2 for the Xbox, I had to have it. After I left there, I actually ran over to Goodwill. Goodwill's hit or miss, man. There was two times I got lucky, right in a row. I got I must have just been in there the right time, and I got a stack of GameCube games, and they're all $4.99 a piece, the games. And then another time I went in there, they had on the cart, which means it just came in, a bunch of PlayStation 2 games. So I scored a bunch of PlayStation 2 games, and all the games you saw in the video, the shovelware from the PS2 games earlier, that was with the stack of the good games that I bought. I left those games behind. But today, there was not really much there besides, you know, some Connect games and some sports games. Nothing that I really wanted. But then I saw this, Project Gotham Racing. I am a sucker for racing games, and I saw this. I was like, all right, you know what? I'll give it a shot. For $4.99, why not? So I grabbed that. Then after that, I ran over to my local retro video gaming store, which is Joe Gamer. Guy's been really good to me. He's a very good local game store. Got a very nice selection, very nice guy, and he helped me out. I brought my folder, and he helped me with this once before. And I don't know if he would do this for anybody else, but he does it for me. He actually helped me complete some games. So we actually, and unfortunately, not 100% complete, but we got the case for Need for Speed Underground 2. So we got the case. I already had the loose game. Unfortunately, no manual, but that's all right. The case is important. That can now go on the shelf. I know I have copies of this, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So got the case now. It had the manuals in it. So we have this already. We're going to be selling that. Now I can sell that. This one was a big one. This was a big one. You guys saw in the video, I had Resident Evil. I had disc 1 and 2, and then I had an additional, I think, disc 1, I think it was. But he helped me complete this. This is crazy. So this is a game that brings back a lot of fond memories for me, and I'm super excited to have this and put it up on the shelf, and also play it now. So yeah, thanks, Joe. I was looking down on, and he had just taken a big collection of Sega Master System games, and there were some good games in there. They smell a little bit. They just came in. They had smelled like they'd been in a basement in a while. The labels weren't in the best condition, but you know, it's very rare to get Master System games in. So he got a bunch of Master System games in. In there was Alf, but no manual, and all the manuals were missing from these games, which is weird. It's not typical of Master System games. A stack of Genesis games, and right on top, I was telling him, like, moments before this, I was like, yeah, I'm looking, I got Beavis and Butthead for Super Nintendo. I have the game for the Genesis, but I don't have the clamshell case. And I look at the pile, and on the pile, this. And he says, yeah, I'll sell just the case to you. And he had two of them. One, both of them had cases. Neither of them had manuals. And he sold me the case. So that was awesome, man. Then I walked over to his GameCube section, and I am a sucker for Bruce Willis and Die Hard, and I added Die Hard to my collection. I think I now have every Die Hard game ever made. I know there's a couple for the Sega Saturn. I got two of those. Got the two on the PlayStation 1, and got the one on the GameCube. I think that does it. If I missed one, maybe you guys can let me know. I don't think I missed any, but 20 bucks for a Die Hard game? Hell yeah, I'll pay that any day. Now, while I was in there, I was just about to leave, and I got a phone call from GameStop, the one that I was just at. We got that box in that we were telling you about. They had told me they were waiting for a box from another store to come in of retro games. So they're the retro game store in the area, and they said they were getting a box in of some games. One of the games was high value, 130 bucks. It ended up being a PlayStation 2 game, and I believe it was, I might get this wrong, it might have been Silent Hill 3. It was like 130 bucks. One of the employees bought it. But I really didn't care because I really wasn't interested in that. My PlayStation 2 games, at this moment, I'm kind of satisfied with what I have. Don't get me wrong, at a yard sale or flea market, if I saw one for a couple bucks and I wanted it, I'd pick it up. But, you know, I'm not buying a $140 game. It's not a game I was looking for, a game that I really, really wanted. So we went back there, and it was funny. The conversation that we were having was, it's, you know, I said to her, I said, it's weird. I said, you guys got, you know, GameCube games in, Wii U, PlayStation 2 and 3. I said, does anyone ever trade in, like, Dreamcast games? And she said, it hasn't happened yet. I said, or PlayStation 1? She's like, it hasn't happened yet unless we have them loose. I was like, that's so weird. It's like, everybody had a PlayStation 1. So I go back in, and they had a couple Dreamcast games. The box that came from the other store had 3 Dreamcast games. Unfortunately, nothing that was that fantastic. So I left those behind. But they also got a nice stack of GameCube games, along with 3 Game Boy Advance games, and I picked up some of them. I didn't have them in my collection, so now I get to put these in my collection. Now, not all these were complete, not all of them did I really want, but I got Call of Duty, big red one, so we got that to add to the collection. I could tell right off the bat it's loose. There are not complete. There's the that one manual that comes with them, but it's not really the manual, and then the game is in here. So I do got that. They were undervalued, $7.59. I think this is like a $9 game. Very unusual at GameStop. When I was in there earlier, someone bought a copy of Mario Kart Wii for $60 or $50. It was $50 or $60. I was like, holy crap, loose. I was like, I wouldn't even sell that for that price, loose. That's insane. I couldn't believe they could get that, and the guy bought it. The guy bought it. But these were undervalued, which are GameCube games, which are crazy. I know the Call of Duty's not like the one, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. This was interesting. Drone. I think it says Drome, D-R-O-M-E, Racers, Drome Racers, that's weird, okay, looked interesting. I am a sucker for race car games, so I had to have this. I've never seen this one before, $9.99. It is also, again, not complete, just that one manual that comes with them, so yeah, but for 10 bucks, or less than 10 bucks, $9.49, hey, why not? We'll save this one here. Another one, SpongeBob SquarePants Lights Camera Action. This one is complete, and again, I could just already right off the bat tell from the weight. Something I'm never going to play, but being a completist, there's 555 GameCube games. I have no idea how many I have. I think I have just under 200. So I'm getting close to being halfway through the collection. I need to add these to my collection. I probably have a good 5 here to add, so that's awesome. This was a big one. Mega Man X Command Mission. Look at this. And I picked it up, and right away, unfortunately, the manual wasn't in there. But then she went to go grab the disc, and this was crazy. She goes to grab the disc, and it's in that little pouch, like one of these things. And in there is the manual. I'm like, just straight up sitting up. I don't know why, but it was sitting there, and for some reason, don't know why. Oh, I do know why. There's 2 versions of the manual. There is an English version and some other language. I don't know what language that is. Hopefully this is NTSC, which is the US version. It's got the ESRB rating on it, so it should be good. But yeah, this game was undervalued again. It was $36.99, and yeah, we got this one here. That was awesome, and it looks good, and it was undervalued, so that's awesome. This was crazy. Now, I am not a Pokemon collector, but when I saw these, I don't have them, and I had to check to make sure they were authentic. They looked good to me without opening up. I did not open these up yet, but these were, again, undervalued. We got Pokemon Ruby. You guys saw that probably in the video. And we also got Pokemon Sapphire. And these two, these are expensive games. So if you have these at home, because I know there's a lot of people that don't watch my games, or don't collect video games that watch my videos, these are like $80 games. So if you have these or Emerald's even more expensive, yeah, you might want to sell them. Trade them into your local mom and pop game store. I would not personally recommend trading them in the GameStop. You're going to get a lot less than you would at a retro game store, or throw them on Facebook Marketplace, even better. And you'll get some good money for them, but be reasonable. Don't ask what a retail store is going to ask, because you're not a retail store. These look authentic to me. I checked them out. Both of them have, so it's hard to explain if you don't play games, but there's like a code punch on the front of the cartridge. The Sapphire has that. I could not find it on the Ruby copy. But the other thing is, you look at the pins that are in here, and as long as it says Nintendo, that's another thing that a lot of times bootlegs see. There's a lot of bootlegs of these games. And the other thing is, when you flip these over, there's like 4 little rectangles in the corner. So the 4 little rectangles are there in both games. So that made me satisfied enough to think that these were authentic and real games. I have 7 days if they're not. I do have a small screwdriver that's meant for these. It's like a tri-wing screwdriver to open these up, so we'll double check to make sure these are authentic. If not, they're going back to GameStop. I think most of the GameStop employees don't know. The kid who's bringing this stuff out, he asked me, how do you tell? And I actually had to show him, and I showed him, and I actually schooled him a little bit. And I'm not even that good at this stuff. I've had bootlegs get past me before. So those to me look authentic, but I'm going to open them up just to double check. And we got one more thing to show, and this was the thing that I went out to Connecticut to meet a guy for. That's a really awesome item. Now, this one here is a part of Nintendo history. This right here, I already have this. So if this is the exact same box, I'm going to probably sell this one. The box is a little rough. But this is the NES Deluxe set with Rob the Robot. There's 2 versions of this. I believe this is the test market one. I'm not 100% positive on that. I got to double check and remember. I think the one with the family on the back playing the games, sorry, this is the best angle I can get, is the test market one. And it came with Rob the Robot. This is basically what saved video games. Atari had come out. Atari, they called it the video game crash because all the games from Atari, ColecoVision and Television were just absolute garbage. I think they must have invented the word shovelware. The box art looked awesome, and even like there's books about the box art of Atari and how fantastic the art is, and the games just play terrible. I love video games. There are Atari people out there, but there's not many. Even Joe at Joe Gamer said that nobody buys them. He said we'd put $60 cartridges up on the shelf that, there's 1 or 2 more expensive games for the Atari, and nobody would even look at them. So the risk is low. So there's like a huge crash during, I think it was like 1983. So in 1985, Nintendo came to the market with the NES with Rob the Robot, and what was it? Operating Buddy or something like that. I forget exactly what Rob stood for. Someone could leave it in the comments below if you want. But basically, Rob brought that back, and there was 3 test markets. 2 100% that I know are confirmed. One was New York. They basically gave the retail stores these NESs with Rob the Robot on the arm, which means that the stores didn't pay for them until they sold them. So there's like no risk to the stores, which is awesome. And once they sold them, they obviously had to pay for them. And it was a great success, so they continued that. And from what I heard, Los Angeles and also Chicago. I know Los Angeles for sure, but Chicago I'm not 100% sure. But New York was one of the original test markets, and it succeeded. So that I'm in New York State, so there's probably a lot of these around. So it's pretty cool. That's what saved Nintendo. So this is a very awesome box to have, and if this is not the same box I have, I'm keeping it. If it's the same box I have, I'm going to sell it. It's not perfect. The NES isn't even in there. The most important things in there, Rob the Robot. It's got the gyros are in there. And if you know what Rob the Robot is, you'll know. I know most of the people that watch my channel are close to my age, you know, which is 44. So I know most of you guys have grown up with me. But yeah, look it up. It's really a cool thing. It only had 2 games, Gyromite and Stack Up, and I actually have both of them. Stack Up is like super rare. It's like an $800 game. I got that very recently from a local thrift store. And yeah, it's cool. It's basically what saved video games in the United States. So that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really still got to put that PlayStation 2 sign away. Yeah, it was fun. It was a crazy day. Got a lot of good games to put away. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, you know who I am. Like, share, subscribe. Please hit that like button, share the videos, and subscribe. It really helps out. And if you could, leave a comment below. I really appreciate it. See you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.